What's going on? This is City Wrestling Radio, and this is the B Show. I'm your host. I'm Corey Smith. Joining me via magical powers of wizardry and internet capabilities, my co-host of the day, Mr. Michael Vergara.
God bless the internet, Corey. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm looking more highly defined than usual. It's you got all spiced up.
I did. I got all cleaned up. I cleaned my my lens. No.
Yeah.
I bought
years upon years. Yeah, which one is it? The C922?
The C920.
C920. Okay.
Nonetheless, we are not here to review webcams.
Look how good he looks, though, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I might have the best quality right now on the show. I think for about another week.
I'm just, I'm the one editing this, so I can fucking just blur you out. It's like, oh, there's a real piece of shit right here.
Nonetheless, we're here to talk about NXT and AEW Dynamite because both those shows just happened.
We're
going to give you a full rundown of both of them, plus some G1 point updates, and a little bit of news.
I kind of want to mute you when you are going to do those points rundown because let me be completely transparent here. I have not watched a single lick of G1 since we did that show.
Wow. Michael, I mean, you have the B-block points still? Do you?
No, I have I completely... real life happened, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Real life happens. Trust me, I get you. Nonetheless, we're going to get into all of that, despite you not having the information. I'll pull it up while we do something. And before we get into all that, though, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are at City Wrestling Radio on Facebook, Instagram. We're at SoundCloud, all the apps, just any app you got, search City Wrestling Radio. We're there. Like and subscribe, especially on YouTube, which I think is like our new apartment home. Right, Michael?
Yeah, no, if you're going on YouTube, come watch me live resizing your video window and trying to make sure it's even with mine and aligning with the name tag. So you get to see me. Okay, don't say anything, Corey. You get to see me do this, and you get to see me do that. Completely messed up everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that is your hot exclusive. That and what's his name? Gerald Briscoe. That interview.
that he did
was
appear
apparently on that show.
But yeah, follow, like, share, and subscribe. Even on Twitter, we are still on Twitter at CWR415. It's the one that still remains the same. The one handle that remains.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't we just do a name change handle thing going on?
And
as soon as
Twitter
we got that,
wouldn't allow us. They were like, "It's too big, it's too short." I mean, I'm like, dude, we're not Goldilocks here. Anyways, shall we get into some news?
Yes, let's. The news. It's happening. It is
happening, and it keeps on coming. But I'm going to kick it off with Tegan Nox injury update. Unfortunately,
she won't be kicking anymore. Okay, that's insensitive, but yes.
WWE confirmed today that the injury Tegan Nox recently suffered is a torn ACL.
Just like Klay Thompson.
So on social media, it says breaking news following the attack from Candice LeRae during the Battle Royal last week. Tegan Nox has suffered an ACL tear. Triple H said on the pre-NXT Takeover press conference call that Nox has already undergone surgery for the injury. Levesque said the injury and the bad luck injury Tegan Nox has. These are some bad wording. Sorry. Should have researched this before, or should have looked at this before. But no, it's her third injury, and
it's her third ACL tear before 30, dude. It's as far as her wrestling days, she's gonna have to really she's gonna really have to really question the viability of doing so. She probably has a job in WWE for life, but yeah, what did he say?
Well, Triple H did say, he said, well, I can't wait till the day she comes back because if anyone can come back from this, it's her.
I mean, again, now you kind of just have to look at the long term of her health overall. 3 ACL tears before the age of 30 is just something not to really, that's not most people just can't come back from that. Yeah, people can come back from ACL tears. Like you see Klay Thompson, you see Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 very fine Bay Area sports individuals.
Yeah.
But 3 times before 30, I don't know. I really don't know.
after a torn ACL, and her right knee kept her out of the inaugural Mae Young Classic. She made it to the quarterfinals of the tournament in 2018 and was supposed to go further before injuring her left leg in a match against Rhea Ripley. So
it's a tough break. I mean, no pun intended, but it is quite the.
Come on, Michael. That's the second one. Really,
it is. It's a hurdle. But the thing is, is it worth going for another hurdle? You know what I mean? Like, is this worth coming back to?
Well, like, I mean, what does she want to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's tough. It's a really tough setback for her, and yeah.
Best of luck to her. From all of us here at CWR. If that means anything to you, Tegan, with all of our bad Tegan Nox impersonations in the past, best of luck. Can't wait to see you return and see that shiniest wizard again. Nonetheless, let's move on to someone who, is at least talking about returning. A little update. Edge, Edge, right?
Yeah, the guitarist for U2.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. No, Michael, Edge, Adam Copeland.
What's he doing?
Well, he was on the Busted Open radio show, said that he didn't have a timetable regarding when he would be able to return from his tricep injury he suffered at Backlash earlier this year. He said, and I quote, "So I don't know yet."
Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Thanks, Edge.
He said it's a lot slower than he thought it was going to be because he's just out mentally right now. And he says, right now, no big deal. Surgery part-time, and we grind through it. We break down scar tissue, and off we go. So he says he doesn't really know about the injury specifically, when exactly he's going to be returning. But I mean, it seems like he's going to be out longer than expected, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, it's either going to be longer than expected, or just the fact that they creatively kind of have nothing for him. I mean, you saw that Clash of Champions like right off for Randy Orton, like that to
right me, off. Did you watch Raw?
No, not right off, but oh yeah, that is true. They did have that night vision goggles thing.
Night vision goggles. That fool traveled to the Spy store down on Fisherman's Wharf, bought some night vision goggles, and then took out all the legends.
It's too bad he didn't go to the hat store.
He should have went to the hat store. I mean,
would have made a better disguise.
Oh, I don't know. I think we're about to get MVP or Hurt Business and Randy Orton soon enough.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess they're continuing that storyline. I mean, what more can we say about?
So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure
that is an easy entry slot for Edge. But other than that, like, I mean, okay, cool. They're gonna have the greatest match ever too.
I'm guessing it's gonna be in front of fans. Well, maybe not actually. I don't know. It depends on what everything looks like. With the good old COVID. But yeah, no, hopefully we'll see Edge. I mean, it's weird how we're like, man, Edge, come on, get back in the ring. Like, I can't wait to see him back in the ring when he's been gone for like how many years before this. And it's been just such a treat to see him at Royal Rumble, to make that surprise entry.
Oh yeah, it's for me to see that spear that no one saw.
Well, the pop. Let's move on to a little bit more serious news, actually, which, Edge injury, it's serious, but
it happened already. Now we're just kind of back after it. But yeah, go on.
Let's talk Joey Ryan, unfortunately. So Joey Ryan, as you may know, a couple months ago was called out by multiple people on Twitter for alleged sexual assault against them. But he has gone on to say that he has lost quite a bit of money because of this and is now suing the people who called him out on Twitter and his what's the word? Not I don't know. I can't think of the word. Somebody who calls you out for something. Accusers. He's filing suit against his accusers.
He's filing a defamation suit.
Yeah, right? Asking for the excess of $15 million in damages. First reported by Heel by Nature, Ryan is claiming to lost revenues of $8,000 to $10,000 in monthly wrestling bookings, $1,000 per month monthly Twitch revenue, $500 in Cameo revenue. He only made $500 in Cameo. That's surprising to me, and I don't know why. It's just $3,000 in monthly.
So that's Sasha Banks money right there.
Yeah,
or Mercedes Varnado.
$1,000 in merchandise revenue and $3,500 in revenue from bar wrestling. Additionally, Ryan is claiming he has lost social media followers and has seen a substantial decrease in various social media followings. Ryan filed suit in the U.S. District and Central Court of California on Thursday, September 24th. He is claiming the three women named in the suit made false allegations, which resulted in his reputation being damaged, leading to financial loss. As you may know, his Instagram still is active, but hasn't updated since June. His Patreon is still fully active, though. Well, from the three women, he is asking $200,000 each for economic damages, multiplied by the amount of months since June 21st, $5 million from each in non-economic damages, and punitive damages of $10 million due to malice, hatred, ill will, and despicable and intentional actions. He is also asking for a permanent injunction on the three women making defamatory statements in the future, from making defamatory statements in the future. Yeah. So this is a lot, man.
I mean, like, listen, like, post speaking out, it is very much obvious that he was fired from Impact. He was pretty much just, I don't want to say blacklisted, more just like rightfully kind of.
Oh, he was
ostracized. I mean, he is blacklisted, but blacklisted is. Yeah, he's pretty much blacklisted. He's pretty like he was very much ostracized from the greater wrestling community, and with good reason, with very good reasons too. And honestly, like him losing this amount of money, him losing out on his income, like this was probably the most natural direction he could have possibly taken. Like he's going to plant his flag into saying that these allegations are not true, and he himself has every right to say that. I'm not saying
you're not agreeing with him, or you're
not agreeing with him. It's just like this is the general direction of where this is the obvious. To me, in my opinion, this is the obvious direction of this was going to go. His income has just been cut off, and now he's going to just try to make money off the lost income.
Well, the thing,
15 million.
15, yes.
That is a swing. That is a hell of a swing.
To me, like I said, like I agree with you. I don't think I don't condone anything that Joey Ryan is alleged. His accusers are alleging he did. I think all of that's really bad. I don't even want anything to like, you know what I mean? Like I got rid of my 8x10. So it was just like, I was going through a bunch of stuff and I was like, I don't need that.
Like a loss of social media followers is grounds for a lawsuit.
Well, I mean, if you're making money from your social media, right? and the one thing that I could actually see being in his favor is that if these cases never went to court, or if nobody ever filed suit against him for the allegations, then wouldn't I'm not a lawyer, so I don't fucking know. If you are a lawyer watching at home, please let us know what you think about this. I think that if nobody filed suit against him, saying press charges against him, then what's to say the court now saying, well, if there was no evidence of this happening to these women, then wouldn't they just award Joey the money? You know what I mean?
I know it's definitely a shot. It's definitely a shot to that's, it's definitely a shot that's worth taking to him. Doesn't make him right. I mean, of course, there are plenty of reasons there are plenty of reasons to recoup the amount of money that you lost, but then at the end of the day, it's up to the people who book your shows that decide whether or not you're making your money or not. Honestly,
no, it just if there was, like I said, if somebody pressed charges against him and they had that, or if they filed reports against to the police, and I'm not trying to say like they should, it's just it's a sticky situation at that point. You know what I mean? Because I hope that if anything happened to any of those women, that
we gotta believe them. We gotta believe them.
I do. I know. I'm just saying, I hope that they get like, I hope they get what's deserved of them, and I hope they don't get fucking have to pay this guy some money,
because you kind of just feel like you kind of just feel like Joey Ryan has a shot at this, is what you're saying.
I feel like he has a case, and I feel like I think there's different, like it also could be like Matt Riddle a couple of weeks ago, right?
So just a full disclosure, listener, we're not lawyers here. There are valid reasons of why this is going to just be nipped in the bud instantly.
But no, I know we're just wrestling fans observing from the outside. It's like Matt Riddle a few weeks ago. He filed suit against Candy Cartwright, right? That was her name.
Mm-hmm.
And then a day before the hearing, he retracted it. You know what I mean? He dropped the charges. So who's to say that Joey Ryan is not doing the same thing? He could the day before this and just drop all charges, and just to, and in my opinion, that whole Matt Riddle thing just was Tim trying to make Candy Cartwright seem bad in the public eye. Because everyone heard that, Matt Riddle's being stalked. He's filing, was a restraining order against her. And then, but how many people heard that he dropped the charges and why he dropped the charges and all of that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say a select few of the people that knew the main story. And I think the same thing goes here. I think everyone knew about Joey Ryan, or at least a lot of people have heard about the Joey Ryan story that know of Joey Ryan. But how many people are going to hear, well, like he actually dropped those charges? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope the best for all those women, in the situation, because it's going to be tough for them to.
It's going to be tough for them to, having to relive the events of what's happening to them in a court of law, and it's not a position I don't think anybody. I hope nobody would ever have to be in, but I mean, what can you do, man? It's an unfortunate situation, and hopefully justice is. Proper justice will get brought out.
You'd hope so, So we'll see what happens. We will keep you guys updated here at City Wrestling Radio.
It'll be for a while. He's filing this, like if it would ever.
We don't know. We don't know exactly, any updates that happen within the next day. If maybe they'll file a countersuit. But stay tuned here. I don't know why I'm holding a comb. Sorry. Here, stay tuned to City Wrestling Radio. That's a pen. That makes more sense. Let's move on to some more news. Unfortunately, we are saying goodbye to a close friend of City Wrestling Radio, a man who once gave me a sticker outside a New Japan Pro Wrestling.
That sticker must be worth millions now.
It is on my work notebook, and it is for sure.
That work notebook is worth even more millions now.
Dollars now. But Harold May, he resigns as New Japan Pro Wrestling president and CEO. He'll be departing the company next month. What you heard about this? What do you think of this, Michael? You are the New Japan Pro Wrestling expert here at City Wrestling Radio. Well, maybe not anymore since you haven't been watching G1. But
I resigned from my post at that point. Harold May, apparently it seems that he wanted to get out for a little bit longer than he was originally staying for.
Yeah.
Seemed like he was there longer than he was there longer. Yeah, I just said that, but. Yeah, it's quite a significant loss, because you sort of see Harold May as the more or less the spearhead of New Japan, kind of leaning on foreign talent. He was kind of that bridge, like that Dominion show where Kenny Omega won the title. Harold May was on screen. So
I wonder if that played a big part of it, him building up these guys, and then all of a sudden they just
the severing of that relationship of the elite.
And how did that make Harold May look to New Japan Pro Wrestling executives?
His standing within that company was significantly notched down, and it's a bit unfair to say that, because I want to say, like, losing the elite while they lost like a lot of money like on the table, losing those guys. Losing Kenny Omega, they are more or less kind of they're still standing. I think they were just booking wise and quality wise, they were just fine without the elite. That's definitely that's my opinion, of course, but yeah, I think it was probably a long time coming for May to just
we all knew he was
that company.
we all knew he was going to leave pretty soon. You know what I mean? Like, I think we heard a couple months ago there was rumor that he would be leaving eventually.
And I think COVID was the reason why he stayed longer than he probably should have.
But in their statement, it was revealed that Takame Obari, got it, who is the current president or is current CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America, will become the new president / CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling on October 23rd. So, yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see exactly where New Japan Pro Wrestling goes from here. You know, he was, like you said, spearheading, or he was the CEO of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America. So will we see more of these guys like in New Japan Strong coming over to Japan? You know what I mean? Will we see a push of like young lions like Gabriel Kidd? So, I mean, I don't know. You know, what do you think?
They already invested that much money into that dojo. They can't just completely dissolve it.
Isn't that the second time though they've done this? The LA dojo.
I think so. I remember like fucking the only other LA dojo I remember was the one that fucking Daniel Bryan wrote about in his book. Yeah, him and Shinsuke and TJP.
And they had donuts. And Shinsuke loves donuts because of that.
I'm just going to read off this article for postwrestling.com. Not the entire article, because you should go to postwrestling.com, listener. I don't want to rob them of their clicks, but I'll just read this. Harold May published new blog as the news brought by Andrew Thompson. May mentioned that he hoped to be with New Japan to see the company completely come out of the coronavirus pandemic. He also asked for readers to forgive him because of the timing of this announcement. May wished well to the soon-to-be new president Takami Obari, and May is confident that New Japan will continue to expand. So, yeah, he kind of just that takeaway is that the whole New Japan expansion isn't exactly nipped in the bud with his exit. Maybe this was just something that he wanted to do, and that New Japan is still going forward with whatever plan he had. So. Oh, we wish Harold May the best in his future endeavors.
Did he do this blog entry in front of all the gold trophies?
Well, the blog entry is completely in Japanese, so I can't, you know. No. I don't speak Japanese.
Well, he's worked in Japan for I think quite a while. He was the former vice president of Coca-Cola Japan and has been the COO of a toy company Tomei. Is it pronounced Tomei or Tomei?
Sure, why not? I don't know.
Well, anyways, that leads us to New Japan Pro Wrestling G130. Are you old enough to watch this? I don't know if that's the quote.
I think so. I mean, they do say a lot of fuck. I mean, they used to say a lot of fuck words.
Maybe it should be.
Wait, yeah, no, that's the thing. I thought Harold May, that was one thing I remember about Harold May was that he was super not into the swearing in New Japan.
I remember.
Now Harold May is out.
Tama Tonga
is just gonna go to town like, fuck you, motherfucker, piece of shit, fuck. Yeah. We have been demonetized on YouTube now, Corey.
We have never been monetized. Okay, let's be real.
Shit.
Yeah. Fuck. I wish I could tell you that all the money just went to go pay for this nice old school Shotzi from the Black Lagoon shirt, but no, it hasn't. G130 over the hill. That's what I'll call it because it's 30 and it's over the hill now.
What?
Yeah, the past couple of days happened. Let me just give you a rundown of points so far. So I will start with the A block. There have been 7 nights so far with 4 A block nights and 3 B block nights as of this recording, which will probably date it in about an hour. But A block, we have I have this broken down a little bit easier. So with 6 points, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie. Minoru Suzuki, Kota Ibushi, Tai Chi, Will Ospreay, and Jay White all stand at 6 points.
Cool.
Okada is standing alone with 4 points. With 2 points, we have Ishii, Shingo, because Shingo ate my baby, and Jeff Cobb. And lonely at 0 points, we have Yujiro Takahashi, the Tokyo Pimp.
They got to have somebody.
I guess I'll get into that after that. You have somebody, to be the Yano of the A block.
Because Yano is no longer the Yano. That dude is killing it. Yeah, he's just spoiling everybody.
He's king of pro wrestling, man.
Yeah.
So let's see. B block, we have with 2 points, Yoshihashi. Sonata, 0 points. He's lost all his matches. What is going on here?
I was hoping they would be setting him up after the loss against
Oh yeah, you were supposed to mute me, by the way.
Yano. What?
You were supposed to mute me because you didn't want to hear this, but nonetheless, ZSJ, 2 points. Kenta, 4 points. Hiroshi Tanahashi, 2 points. Juice Robinson, 4 points. Yano, 3-0, 6 points. 2 points go to Evil, and that's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, so the two people.
You didn't think Evil being at top? You think Evil being at top was crazy?
No, he's not on top. He has 2 points.
Oh,
he has 1 win.
No, that's crazy.
He lost to Yano.
That's true.
Well, there was the interference, and the San Francisco restaurant's favorite wrestler, Dick Togo, got involved in the match
because that was such a hit last time you said that, Corey.
It doesn't say Goto; it says Togo. And then speaking of Hiroki Goto, 2 points, and Tetsuya Naito, undefeated still with 6 points.
Watch him win this. I'm kind of curious.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I think Naito's going to win it. They keep hyping up the.
And who's he going to choose? Does he want to do Okada again?
No, he'll probably choose. He'll probably choose Evil.
Evil is not main eventing a Tokyo Dome. As of right now, I don't see that dude in main eventing a Tokyo Dome.
I also think there's going to lead to a feud between Jay White and Toru Yano eventually.
I can't wait, Corey. I can't wait, Corey.
I don't think Jay White's going to win his block.
That's honestly kind of an interesting match.
He's calling himself King Switch. Yano is the king of pro wrestling. You win something at the end of the year when you hold it, right?
Some trophy. Yeah. You get a fuck ton of confetti that will just destroy your stream picture quality.
So right before the end of the year, Jay White's going to beat Yano for that trophy, and he's going to be the king of pro wrestling, and he's going to call himself King Switch and fully live into it. So, yeah, I don't know why I keep holding this comb. I just need it. It's gone. Hi. All right. Anything else you want to say about the G1?
I need a lot of catching up to do.
There's a lot of good matches.
Have you been catching up? Have you seen everything? Are you caught up on everything?
I haven't watched the B block in depth, but it's been on in the background for sure. I really enjoy Ishii. And he's not doing well.
Really? Tomohiro Ishii just having fucking great matches on the G1.
I will say this. Ishii and Ospreay was really, really good because you saw Ishii work a Will Ospreay match. And that was fun. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily like Will Ospreay as a person, but he could have good matches.
It is continuing. It shouldn't be a challenge to cover this, covering Will Ospreay matches, but it's.
He's just such a cocky son of a bitch, man.
Oh, he's good. I mean, look.
Oh my God! Why
the
is
best
he
type of gimmicks are extensions of themselves? All right, so
I have to say this too. Jay White is the best heel in a COVID era. Every time he gets the mic and he starts telling the fans to chant for Okada, he's like, "Come on, chant for Okada."
I know.
Okada. Oh my God!
You can't do it. It's like he's like Borat. He's like Borat's sister in the movie Borat, where he just says, "You'll never get this." Yeah.
No. Okay.
They're making a sequel to Borat, by the way. You hear about that?
I can't.
They filmed it. They have it in the can, and Amazon is releasing it the week before Election Day.
Really?
Yeah, and they said, and they maybe just advertising, but they also said we're kind of gun shy about releasing this because this might ruin the political career of a certain very higher up politician. But we'll just do it anyway.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what fucking happens, dude.
He did a really good speech, I believe, to the Europe. I don't know, but Sacha Baron Cohen gave a really good speech about a couple weeks ago about the world in decline and America having a really bad president. Yeah, nonetheless, Sacha Baron Cohen's pretty.
He had the apparently the whole shtick about this movie is that it's Borat in disguise. Because Borat's very, very famous. So it's just him, Sacha Baron Cohen, being in Borat, being in a disguise. So that's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's
move on. Yeah.
Are we done with news?
We are done with news. Unless, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah. Dynamite. September 30th, 2020. Technically, it happened last week. It's because it's clearly a taped show. What did you overall think about Dynamite? Are we just going to do... Might as well just do
It was
overall
fun.
thoughts. Yeah,
I mean, it was fun. I did enjoy the main event, and yeah, I mean, but there were some parts. Nothing like really stood out though. You know what I mean? Like nothing was like, oh my god, I can't believe I just saw that on Dynamite.
I feel like as I go through the show,
they at least have people in the crowd. They're not playing fake noises like some people are.
What can I say? What can I say, Corey?
Yeah, what can you say?
Well, whatever I'm saying is just going to be a canned noise. It's just whatever. But yes, this was a taped show. Watching these taped shows. It's very like they got obviously they get their timing right. Yeah. But then you also hear the most obvious ADR imaginable from the commentary booth. Oh, it's so freaking obvious. Like I get it. Like you can't. There's only so much to work with in terms of like a sound booth, I guess, and trying to emulate that live experience. But yeah, whatever.
They didn't have any actual fans there, though, did they?
I did not notice any.
I didn't notice any either.
So I think what they did, we'll probably get like a more definitive answer out of this, but this was taped, so they probably like had to force the people out, and then they just started filming right afterwards because they kind of do back to back. But yes, starting.
And you don't get spoilers coming out. You don't get spoilers at that point, too. So
that's true. Our starting match: Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin. 20-minute time limit. Starks comes out with a Darby Allin themed body bag. Looked more like a sleeping bag. They should sell those. They really should sell those. I mean, I'm not much of a Darby Allin.
You hate everybody.
I'm not really into the
sleep in the woods.
I would not personally identify myself with the Darby Allin aesthetic, but they're leaving money on the table for people who are into that. Taz is on commentary with Excalibur and Jim Ross. Why is there no Tony? We'll find out. We'll get there, man.
We'll find out later.
A student film from Darby and a promo from I don't know who this is. He's this dude is probably like somebody.
Yeah. Something GIF, they said, like DJ GIF or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, he is kind of just out of my payroll. So I'm pretty sure he's a dude because Darby Allin just knows some famous people. He knew Tony Hawk. He knows Tony Hawk. So
he's a skateboarder.
He's out there. Yeah, Darby Allin's out there, man.
I mean, I'm 1 degree away from Tony Hawk. I know a friend that knows Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means I'm 2 degrees away from Tony Hawk then.
You are, yeah.
So here I am doing everything I can.
Look at you. Look at you now.
Yeah, and so he said the dude says imitation is the highest form of flattery and will remind Starks how much of a bitch he really is. Oh. As a body bag is lumped into some pit. I hope that was just a dummy inside because it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Like it. I'll be honest. It looked like there were some like limbs.
Oh God, do you think it's Kentucky?
Oh God. It probably was.
Jesus, he's still doing that shit. They revealed this match, they revealed an answer to a question that has since been has eluded to me for a very long time, and that is Ricky Starks' age. And Jim Ross revealed that Ricky Starks is fucking 30 years old.
He was like 29, 30 or whatever.
No, he says Darby Allin is 27, and it's true. He's the same age as me. But then Ricky Starks is like, that's kind of crazy to me.
He looks
like,
good. He looks really good.
He looks way younger than he actually is. I mean, he kind of does have that little old face. He kind of has
I'm 33, and I know I look like I'm like 17, so I get it.
Stark goes for the spear early. He goes for the spear early. That's a weird sentence. As Darby grabs him into a guillotine, Allin gets wrist control and tosses Starks around. Stark gets suplexed into the apron, followed by a tope suicida. Like, it was more of just like him just being shot out of a fucking cannon than a tope suicida. Yeah. Like the way Darby Allin just shoots himself out of that ring. Again, one of the best in the business. Brian Cage comes out just to mess with Darby Allin, and then out comes Will Hobbs to stop him on his tracks. Stark sells his back throughout the match, struggling with the half crab. Allen's knee is hurt. A Rochambeau is reversed into a Yoshi Tonic for a 2 count. Allin does a modified Rings of Saturn on Starks, but somehow Starks reaches the ropes. They exchange slaps, which turns which turn to elbows, which turns to forearms, and it turns into more slaps. An over the top stunner, but Stark catches Allin with a spear from springboard cutter. Stark struggles to put Allin onto the top rope and attempt an avalanche Rochambeau. Allin fights it off and tosses Ricky out to the top rope and dives off to the coffin drop into the damaged back of Ricky Starks for the definitive pin and win. I thought this was a really, really good match. Yeah, it was really good. Good opener. Yeah, Ricky Starks and Darby Allin. Like, again, you kind of just do have this feeling that these guys have a better match. They're capable of a better match.
Mm-hmm.
This does not seem like the end. I mean, it does seem like the end for now, but then this is
for now. I think it'll come down the road though.
Yeah, and like honestly, like watching Dynamite in general, just following Dynamite as much as I have, one thing that I've just kind of noticed is that a loss, it's in your record, but it's not inherently damaging to one's image.
Like New Japan.
It's very much like New Japan. You just got to have definitive winners and losers.
Some nights people just get you. You know what I mean?
And it's really just about you see sports, like you see it in sporting events all the time, like where the favorites, get upset.
Number 1 seed gets beat by a number 8 seed. You know what I mean?
I think Ricky. My conclusion is that I think Ricky Starks is going to be fine out of that, and it's just more or less a lesson on sometimes like it's not like losing isn't the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really just depends on the follow up and how that affects that character moving forward. You're still that makes you continue to be invested, and we'll see how it goes for Ricky Starks. I think, but I just generally think he's going to be fine with Darby Allin. They have a lot invested into this guy. Clearly, him winning, I'll tend to agree with that direction as long as Darby Allin, I mean, he's been losing a lot, so he kind of needs he's in that same pit of Jungle Boy where a win was definitely needed, because if Darby Allin lost this match, then I would have start to question. It kind of just puts my argument like by the wayside at that point. I think Darby Allin needed this win.
They just have a lot of people on their roster, and I just and naturally people are going to say, "Oh, Darby Allin win. What title is he going to go for?" But at the end of the day, like, we're just going to have Darby versus somebody else for a while.
There's only so many titles to go around in the division, pictures to go. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I think the easiest route for somebody to say that is to say, "Oh, what title is he going to go after? Let's make a title, buddy. Let's make one for him." And well, I'm just
you could go for the FTW title. I mean, who knows?
Well, you never know.
Someone else is going for that.
Hey.
Yeah. The Unholy Choir is back as we are blessed with the presence of God King Cody. Welcome back, Cody. We didn't have a show last week. Cody Rhodes back, new hair. What is your opinion on it?
I think he's the leader of the Dark Order.
What?
I think Cody Rhodes is the leader of the Dark Order.
How does any of that? Please make sense out of this, Corey.
Have you fucking seen him? Like his first off, the night his
I'm
new logo,
all of this.
His blood is like a blood coated American Nightmare logo. Secondly, he dyed his hair black. His whole new appearance is like this dark, like this is like dark, kind of like Undertaker, a Gothic-esque version of Cody Rhodes. It's not just black haired Cody. His whole suit was like kind of gothic-y. And then Brody Lee also comes out and is also wearing very nice suits that kind of like, okay, like you guys are both wearing really good stuff. I don't know. To me, it seems like I think Cody Rhodes is the leader of the Dark Order, and they're going to try to fool us. I don't know. And I know that's not usually what AEW does, but the fact that they change storylines so many times, I don't know. I could see that. And the Dark Order loves them if you watch BTE.
Well, I haven't been watching BTE, honestly.
They sang his theme song, and Brody Lee exposed himself.
Great. Dasha's with him in the ring and welcomes him back. She asks how he's feeling and responds by mentioning Al Snow, giving Cody advice saying, "You'll always wrestle hurt, you never wrestle injured." And that Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan is the greatest worked match of all time because of the money it made. That's all that matters. Whatever. He says pre-pandemic, a handshake in the locker room. Cody says this. Says pre-pandemic, a handshake in the locker room means we need each other in wrestling. Yeah. There are always two names in the marquee. He mentions the Big Show opportunity with Rosario Dawson and Snoop Dogg, and just asks himself, who the hell is he?
Wait, not the Big Show. That's the Big Show.
That's the show that
big
TBS is doing, and that he's a judge on.
Big Show, right?
A Big show.
Then what's the big?
Hold on. No. I got that. I'm mixing them up. Well, now I have to look this up.
The Big Show is on Netflix, and I think the Big Show, right? I honestly think
so
it is.
fucking stupid. The big show. Okay. Then what? Okay.
Yeah, the Big Show is the Netflix one for sure.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes.
The big. Oh, this is why people watch us, dude.
Okay, so he's gonna be. I'm not finding that. No, it has to be around here, right?
TBS, right? It's on TBS or TNT.
Big show.
Oh, the Go Big Show. The Go Big Show.
The Go Big Show. Okay. Jesus. It's clearly made by people who don't follow wrestling. And I lost my place now. Where am I?
He was talking about Hollywood giving call that call from the
So Cody asks himself, who the hell is he? And he says he's a guy who lost the TNT title in 2 minutes. Dasha says he's back with both feet on the ground. He says the honored distinction of being the ace of the company belongs to the title holders. Dasha asks Cody if he accepts the dog collar match challenge. Cody says the optics are unsafe and that as an executive VP, he says no.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. I thought Cody would never do something like WWE.
He says he has no regrets and he's no looking back. And next week he accepts.
That shit.
That's for the video people. I just realized. I'm always of the video mind, but he walks away. He walks away from the
You can't. Okay, how WWE was that though, dude? Like, no.
Oh,
no
dude,
regrets.
Cody Rhodes is one. Yeah, Cody Rhodes, like, he is very much. He's very much the living embodiment of what he thinks the WWE should have booked him.
Yeah.
And so he's in this company doing exactly what he thinks WWE should have booked him. And this.
Yeah.
And hey, has it worked, Corey?
Yeah.
And then he is totally vindicated in this very thing. But yeah, he comes out and he accepts. And then Mr. Brody Lee just immediately comes out and fights Cody, and they have to be separated by the entire locker room and Dark Order. And then Brandy comes out. She goes to the corner, a top rope, and does a front falling flip. I don't even want to call it a flip. It just looked like she just fell forward. She kind of looks like she just fell forward in front of the Dark Order people, and then she lands on her feet because they. Come on, man. They had to make sure she landed on her feet. So for Anna Jay to attack her, and then she attacks back.
How many takes did that take? That's what.
Maybe that's why they had to. There were no audience members. So she front flips, and then then all the women have to separate Anna Jay and Brandy Rhodes, and then and I love this so much. Fucking Nyla Rose, just because she felt like it, just tosses and kills Kylan King onto the barricade, and like it was just her just like using her opportunity of this fuckery just to fuck with even more people. And then Brody comes out, they fight again, and then Taz, he just like, why are they separating them? I just want to see them fight. Just fight already. And that was the end of that segment. So yeah, Cody versus Brody Lee dog collar match
next week.
I think Cody's winning this, or there might be fuckery.
Yeah,
I think he wins or he loses
because he's the leader of the Dark Order. It makes sense.
I don't think so, but you do you. Okay. I'm not here to doubt your track record, Corey.
You know what?
I'm the one that completely predicted the Bray Wyatt Stronghold, the Firefly Funhouse match.
I'm the Ishii of City Wrestling Radio. Okay, I put on
that you'll never win.
Shows.
Yeah, sure.
I put on great entertaining shows that I'll never win, but it's okay because it's entertaining. Yeah. So let's continue though.
Tony's with FTR and Tully Blanchard. We're about 48 minutes of this. Cash Wheeler calls SCU backyarders and participation trophy guys despite being the first tag champions. Tony Schiavone asks about the Young Bucks, and Dax says they blow every opportunity. The name drop Meltzer with all the stars they get, and then Tony asks about Full Gear, and then before FTR can get any answer, Tony is super kicked by Matt Jackson, and FTR just comes out and says, "Kick us, we're right here. Kick us, we're right here." Like after Matt Jackson kicks Tony, just like he addresses off screen Nick Jackson, even though we haven't seen Nick Jackson in weeks. Yeah, which is very, very, very suspect. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think he has COVID? There was a recent. We didn't talk about this because there was no show last week. There was a recent outbreak in the AEW locker room.
Yeah, I mean,
and Carter was.
They did the whole thing too. Okay, they did that whole thing last week where he comes out of the locker room and he goes, "Oh, hold on, Nick, I got this. Don't worry." And he's like talking back into the room.
Well, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But then on BTE, they totally cut the Nick Jackson part. Like they have him walk out and goes, "I got this," but Brandon Cutler's in the room by himself.
This I saw. I didn't finish BTE, but yeah, I did see this.
It's confusing to me when they're playing off of storylines on the show,
and normally they're pretty good with continuity at this point. Yeah. With their stuff, and yet I guess when they filmed that iPhone segment, and then they go back to the room, like those were shot on different days, obviously, probably.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But
it's still very confusing that we have only seen Matt Jackson so far, and I mean that's not the only puzzling part about this segment. It's just the dynamics between FTR and a potential and the Young Bucks is just kind of baffling to me because you frame FTR as these like ultra snobby heel guys who think they're better than everybody else. They give them 20 minutes and all that other stuff, and you have the Young Bucks, your perennial just tag team. They're the faces of the tag team division. Like they represent that tag team division, and you kind of just have them. Like if I were to think of any justification of why they're acting like this, it's just that they're just being divas. They're being prima donnas about. I mean, they have every right to be frustrated about everything, right? They're just being very angsty. And I don't. Do you think that is? But do you think that's a good direction for the Young Bucks to take when there's clearly there's a very clear heel tag team in FTR? Do you want
people like heels and people like the Young Bucks? I think the people who really like the Young Bucks are going to be completely fine with them being heels.
But then that also kind of just puts the whole dynamic between FTR just way out of whack. Then who are you? Then it's just a heel versus heel thing, and then like is it just?
There's no direct face and heels here in All Elite Wrestling. We let the musicians play their music.
Like, listen, man. Like as archaic as that sounds, like it is a very necessary thing to have a clear face and a heel. Because that's what dictates the story. Like, do you want to see Red Skull like fight Thanos?
I mean,
like, how invested are you in that fight? You'd watch it, but then how invested are you in that?
Well, Thanos, I mean, okay.
Don't take my point literally. This is, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. No, I get you. I think in wrestling there should at least be some sort of definition between like what these people stand for. You know what I mean?
I just thought this was just completely puzzling, and how the Young Bucks have been lately.
Yeah.
And
and Cody joining the Dark Order doesn't make any sense either, but it's going to happen.
Dasha's with the SCU. They say they're going to be the tag champions. Scorpio Sky says he's going to be the tag champions the second time, and then before Kaz, Daniels, and Sky enter the ring, you see Sean Spears personally looking at Scorpio Sky. Good luck.
Yeah, okay.
Which is obviously just a tease between a program between Scorpio Sky and Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Because did you watch Tuesday night Dynamite, late night Dynamite?
No.
Because this makes sense because...
Was there one this week?
No. This was last week.
Okay.
That was last week. Feels like fucking forever ago. Or 2 weeks ago, actually. I have no time frame whatsoever. But yeah, they've been teasing this in the Tuesday night Dynamite special with Sean Spears and Scorpio Sky, because Sean Spears had a match against... Sky has somewhat he's friends with Matt Sydal, who had a match against Sean Spears, and then Sean Spears beat Matt Sydal. He was teasing post-match beatdown. Scorpio Sky, yeah.
I'm trying to keep track. Hold on, I'm writing.
It's not that complicated. Sky is friends with Sydal, and
the one thing I question though is a couple of weeks ago they were pushing Scorpio Sky as the singles competitor. They said Scorpio Sky was stepping away from the tag team. He has new theme music,
and now he eats the pin in this week's Dynamite.
In a tag match, when you have Christopher Daniels on the outside and on BT.
Hey, it's a different thing. Hey, singles competition is different from tag team competition.
I understand that, but why did they say they were pushing him as a singles competitor and he was stepping away from the tag team. He said, I'm stepping away from the tag team. I want to do my own thing, but still be a part of SCU. Why isn't Daniels in this match?
He's probably injured. He probably can't wrestle right now. Because in a logical world, in a logical sense, I mean, you even if Daniels wasn't wrestling, you'd have Kaz eat that pin. It's not perfect. That is quite the blemish on this one. Because that is quite the blemish on an otherwise fantastic match between FTR and SCU. Brush of greatness match. Adam Page is on commentary. They ask Page why he's here. He says he still has a vested interest in the tag division despite Omega's intentions to leave. Page disputes those confirmations. Wheeler fakes a Daniels distraction, which leads to Daniels getting ejected. Page asks Daniel as Daniels just leaves, Page just goes up to he just yells at Christopher Daniels like, "Can you get me another drink? Thanks." Kaz goads FTR into walking into a Tope-Con hero from Sky, and then right after that, Cash goads Sky into a lariat on the outside after being pulled from the ring mid-pinfall. Sky does a phantom pin, but Paul Turner wasn't on time. Excuse me. Russian leg sweep from Sky. Kaz gets the hot tag and just lariats and leg drops his way to my heart because Frankie Kazarian is 43 years old, and the way that he moves, the way that he just kind of goes on about just the way he just kind of just moved, he continues to just be one of the most underrated performers in AEW.
Yeah. Oh, Kazarian?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's really good, man, and he has hair now, so
maybe that's why. Maybe they should just call him Samson. 10 minutes past, 10 minutes remain. Match is going 50-50 between the two teams. Numbers don't lie. Tandem cutters from both SCU members to FTR. Kaz kicks out of a powerbomb, dragon suplex combo. Kaz counters a power slam from Harwood's shoulder for a 2 count. Desperation pin attempts from Sky as the clock ticks. Tully holds onto Wheeler's arms to prevent another pinfall. And then the finish of the match. Wheeler suplexes Sky from the apron to the ring as Tully holds on to Sky's legs for the pin and win. Like I said, and I really, really liked this match to a point where I kind of consider this match of the night. I think this was better than Page and Omega. It really just kind of baffles me. Omega. This was FTR versus Page and Omega.
Oh, okay.
I'm not surprised that you forgot about that match because
No. I thought you were. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's these two teams just had tremendous chemistry together, and it's just all the more makes me.
Where was Sean Spears?
He was just, I mean, they didn't need him. They didn't need Sean Spears.
Why'd they tease? Why'd they tease before the match then?
Because because Scorpio Sky, remember, I told you earlier, Scorpio Sky is rivaling with Sean Spears. Also, Sean Spears is still associated with Tully Blanchard. So there's that natural.
Then why couldn't he come out and why couldn't Tully get ejected too? Have him come out and do some chicanery?
Because Paul Turner didn't notice anything wrong with Tully Blanchard's involvement with the match. He didn't see anything.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's fake. We could make it so if you're going to tease some sort of involvement before the match with Sean Spears, who has involvement.
They didn't have to do this week.
But they did tease it.
They teased it, but then it doesn't have to spill into the match. There are plenty of other reasons why they would have just lost.
It didn't pay off. Then it didn't pay off.
Dude, just because it didn't pay off this week, I mean, they just teased it. The payoff is still to come. You're just being impatient on this, and then
I'm viewing this episode as an episode. I
think honestly, I feel like if you look at Dynamite within a bubble, then I think you are going to leave very dissatisfied. Like, my general opinion of this episode in general was still setting up stuff, especially after what was going on in this match, SCU versus FTR, which right after this, an 8-man tournament for a shot at the AEW title at Full Gear is announced in front of Hangman Adam Page, and then they announced the first 3 so as Hangman Adam Page, it's news, this is him getting the news in real time.
Cool, what do we got?
And the first 3 participants are announced as,
just let me know, who do we got?
We got Ray Phoenix,
all right, yeah, cool,
Jungle Boy, and Kenny Omega. And then Page almost does a spit take as he leaves, and as soon as I saw that, My God,
so
Corey.
bad.
My God. Oh yeah, no, I felt really bad for Hangman Adam Page, so
I felt like I just got broken up with. I felt like I just found out somebody cheated on me. You know,
the build to Kenny Omega taking that title away from Jon Moxley is upon us, and motherfucker, here we go. Here we fucking go. Wrestling.
So Hangman's gonna be in the tournament. It's gonna end up Hangman and Omega, right?
Honestly, I kind of don't want that to happen. I kind of don't want that tournament to be. You could see a Hangman get upsetted in the second round. It's an 8-man tournament. I can see him getting upset.
He gets screwed by the Bucks, maybe.
Maybe, honestly, maybe. Like I could see that happening. I can see because Page cost Bucks a shot at the title for Double or Nothing, or is it not Double or Nothing, All Out.
And
like I said, I kind of want to hold off Kenny Omega versus Adam Page in the tournament, because that is something you got to hold on to that.
Yeah,
you got to. I think it's too early for Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page to face at the tournament, but who knows? But yeah, this 8-man tournament, Kenny Omega, odds-on favorite.
You sure Jungle Boy's not going to win it?
I think Jungle Boy's going to have a great match, but I don't think he's going to win it. So far, the participants announced for this, I mean, those three, Phoenix, Jungle Boy, and Kenny Omega. Oh,
it would be nice to see somebody I don't know. That's the thing. Is I would like to have seen Luchasaurus in it, even though Jungle Boy is a hell of a competitor. I don't know.
You would rather have Luchasaurus than Jungle Boy?
Yeah. In a singles competition, I would, because I think he at least looks like
quite a take, Corey. But yeah,
he plays the role. He looks like he plays the role better of heavyweight in that team. He's the bigger guy. You're instilling. That's the thing. The second that you install weight divisions in AEW, just throws all the divisions way out of whack. Then why is Darby Allin getting title shots? You know, I know I think there should be a light heavyweight title.
I mean, AEW, there's a reason why they don't call it the World Heavyweight Championship, Corey.
They don't? I thought they did the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
They just call it World Championship.
Oh, okay.
I am the AEW expert, Corey.
You are.
You make this claim, and I'm putting my fucking foot on the ground
I'll
here.
take it.
And then immediately in the comment section, there's no, they call it the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, go fuck yourself. Isaiah Cassidy versus Chris Jericho.
You are right. Yeah, the AEW World. It's in Wikipedia. See, it's right
here. They don't do weight divisions, dude. This is AEW. Look at the fucking founders. Look at the executive vice presidents, dude. Do they look like heavyweights?
Guy and his dad.
Well, yeah, but then the wrestlers, the executive vice presidents. Come on, man. Kenny Omega is easily the largest person there, and that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Isaiah Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. At this point, the NBA Finals are starting, so let's see how the demo god fares in this one.
You're and some stuff happened. Let's continue to NXT.
No, I followed this. Jericho face rubs and shoves Cassidy. Cassidy has none of it and scraps at him. Mahi style Credo to Jericho to a very close fall on a taped Dynamite. JR throws to picture-in-picture, and the picture just never comes. I feel like that's just a rib at this point.
There was one point too where I felt like JR was especially sassy during this taping, because he was just snapping on people.
Oh, my opinion of JR these past couple of weeks on AEW have just been generally in the negative. Last week, there was last week where Excalibur was pointing out,
oh, that's a move.
No, he was pointing out references to what's his name? He was pointing out All Japan references, and then JR was just oh yeah, no, we expect everybody to know that, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's Excalibur. He's there to educate you. You're just kind of there, and he's just JR was just being lightweight, just being uncooperative with Excalibur. It's
tonight, he just had. There was a point where it was he was oh, modified bulldog, and then JR was oh, well, that's what we call. That's actually called something. I can't remember exactly.
I get it, seniority, but then it's just that
on air though, on air.
No, yeah, no, of course, exactly. It's just that it's.
If you said to me right now, Corey, you're effing wrong. No, you are wrong. You didn't get that right. You are wrong. It'd be kind of rude. I'd be
the thing is, JR wasn't exactly being
nicer.
No, JR was just being passive about it. Oh yeah, we expected everybody to know that. He just kind of came off as very antagonistic.
Hangman, come back out here and hang out with me.
Yeah.
Apple Podcast.
Cassidy does a swanton bomb. Jericho heals it up on Cassidy, but runs into a turnbuckle after his bulldog gets reversed. Flipping forward, springboard stunner from Cassidy. Cassidy catches Jericho from a springboard corner dropkick to another stunner for another near fall. Jericho goes for the line salt and has his head land right on Cassidy's knees. I thought like Jericho was going to have a concussion here that we just did not know about, but apparently he's fine because we would have known about that. Cassidy does the lion salt and a code breaker, which both warrants near falls. And actually, I missed a spot here. Luther hits Jericho after Jericho gets shoved onto the barricade, teasing a feud that literally nobody wants. And like, this was not clear. Like, Aubrey Edwards was not being distracted. Like, how was this not a DQ finish?
Was it a no DQ match?
I don't think so. Well, it was never advertised. It's just like you see Luther actually attacking Chris Jericho. Do you think it was on? Are they just going to say it was outside the barricade? And
I think all of wrestling is taking on my new rule. I think referees need to file paperwork if they call for a DQ, so there's less DQs called, less botches.
That just makes the matches less pure.
Well,
way more disputed.
New Japan. Fucking Minoru Suzuki can use a fucking chair over and over again, and that's okay. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's starting to happen more and more. It's being more prevalent in wrestling, and I think we might have to just get used to stuff like this. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. I think it's stupid.
Playoff rules. Jericho goes for the lion salt and has his head land on Cassidy's knee. Cassidy does the lion salt and a code breaker, which both warrants near falls. Excuse me. Springboard from Cassidy into a Judas Effect pin and win. I thought this was a spirited, gutsy performance by Isaiah Cassidy. Oh, yeah. I still think he's very, very, very green. Well, not very, very green, but he's very green. He's only one very. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was just another win for Jericho. It came in.
He's like lime green. He's not forest green. He's lime green.
Jericho and Hager brawl with Luther and Serpentico post match. ADR Excalibur is tacked on as he says Jericho and Luther go way back in Calgary. Like, they just had to put that in there, like a justification between the brawl.
Stu Hart's dungeon. I mean,
it wasn't. No, it was Excalibur saying this because they.
No, it's Stu Hart's dungeon. No, the one thing I don't.
That's Mauro Ranallo.
You know what? God, I lost my train. I think this is only to put Hager and Jericho back in the tag division. They are just in the thick of it now. Well, I mean, Jericho had a singles match, so I think they wanted to remind.
Yeah, but they're in a singles match against a guy who's a member of a tag team.
I understand that, but there's people that don't pay that close of attention to it like we do. So I'm saying, like, to do this, it's like, okay, let's remind people that Jericho is now a tag team competitor. Next week, they're gonna have a match against this tag team.
I mean, I think you'd have to be really stupid to not think this is not like
casual fans. Casual fans. That's the only reason I said
whatever, man. Miro and Kip are in some room. They plan the bachelor party as they throw blue balls and axes as they plan some more out of the bachelor party, and then they're in a Dave & Buster's playing Pac-Man, and then out of the blue, fucking Billy Mitchell comes in and just.
Who's Billy Mitchell?
Billy Mitchell is the world record holder for Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, and he is a very, very polarizing figure within that realm because let's just say his records have been very what?
He cheated though, right, with Pac-Man?
That's what I was about to say. His records have since been disputed by Guinness and Iron Galaxy. I think that's what it's called, actually. Iron Galaxy. I think that's the name of something. I think that's the name of something else. But ever since then, Guinness reinstated his scores after much deliberation, because the story is that the records that Billy Mitchell holds for I think it was Donkey Kong or I think it was Pac-Man. It was a game, and so that was played on an emulator, meaning he played it on his PC. It wasn't on an actual arcade board, and he has since been under very much a good amount of controversy surrounding him. So he's a very polarizing figure. He's on an episode of AEW Dynamite. I thought this was the most random cameo that I've seen probably ever.
So on July 3rd, 1999, Mitchell was the first person to achieve the perfect score of 3,333,050
he finished Pac-Man.
Points of the original 1980 arcade version of the classic video game Pac-Man.
Oh, I thought you were going to read his controversies.
just only pulled up Wikipedia. In 2018, Mitchell's high scores were challenged after members of the Twin Galaxies found
Iron Galaxies,
discrepancies in the video Mitchell had provided to the King of Kong suggested that he may have used an emulation software to falsify his score. Both Twin Galaxies and Guinness invalidated all of Mitchell's records, but Mitchell successfully appealed the reverse of Guinness removals in June 2020. Twin Galaxies did not reverse their disqualifications, leading to Mitchell file a defamation lawsuit. Oh shit! I know we talked about that twice tonight. In Twin Galaxies in 2020. In addition, Mitchell's family owns Ricky's restaurants in Hollywood, Florida. That maybe that's where they were. And was it Dave and Buster's or?
Yeah, it was probably Ricky's restaurants. It looked like Dave and Buster's. So. Hey, watch King of Kong Fistful of Quarters. It's probably like really dated now because the high scores, but it's a documentary about Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe, another dude, just competing against each other over the high score of Donkey Kong. Highly recommended, but a lot of stuff has happened since then, which I think have since not really held up. But yeah, the most random wrestling is, I think that ranks up there as like the most random wrestling cameo in the history. We hey, if you want to bring back top 10, I got your idea there. Even though, wait a minute, didn't you do a top 10?
We did wrestling. We did pro wrestlers in cameos and TV shows. We didn't do TV.
So you got to reverse that. You got to reverse that.
Celebrities making cameos in wrestling shows. Yeah,
I mean, you can make it. You can make it. I mean, we're not promising anything, but you can definitely make that. Yeah, use that new webcam of yours.
I'll write it on my screen here. There you go. Anyways.
Where am I? Okay, FTR bullying best friends backstage. Orange Cassidy calls them weenies because last week Chuck Taylor called them weenies, and I love it. I love Chuck Taylor. I love Chuck Taylor's just elementary school name calling to tag teams he doesn't like. He called Proud and Powerful ding dongs, and he's calling FTR weenies. God bless you, Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
God bless you. Orange Cassidy versus number 10 of the Dark Order. 10 gives Orange's shades to John Silver. Heel heat building on Orange. We get a delayed vertical suplex from 10. With British Bulldog comparisons. He himself puts Orange's hands in his pockets himself. After that, he spine busters to Orange. Orange dives to Dark Order. Swinging DDT. Orange punch break, pin, and win. Orange Cassidy getting his win back on the Dark Order after losing to Mr. Brody Lee on that TNT Championship match last week.
It's just number 10. I mean, I don't know. He got the 1, 2, 3 on number 10. So I don't know.
I feel like my throat is getting drier the more I drink water. Do you like it's like when I drink water, like every time after I speak, it just gets even drier. What do you know that?
We do talk a lot, and talking does dry you. So it does happen.
Oh my God.
There are points, I think, on the Heat show, and if you don't watch our retro Sunday Night Heat review,
buy me some time, Corey.
Check it out in the link above because it's up there somewhere. I think. Wait, hold on.
Oh, it's up there.
It's there. It is. It's over there. Hey, there it is. Hey, click that. It doesn't lead you to a Russian website that takes all your information in your face and votes for you. No, it takes you to a video that I do every week with Jose Oseguera, our retro Heat and retro pay-per-view. We just did Breakdown 1998.
How was it, Corey?
It was bad.
All right. If you want to hear more of that, go listen to the Breakdown pay-per-view or the Breakdown podcast pay-per-view thing.
Breakdown of Breakdown.
Nice. And you all broke down. MJF comes out with gifts to congratulate Jericho. MJF gives them customized silk pressed jackets for everyone but Sammy Guevara. Jericho asks what the hell is he doing here and asks if he wants to join the inner circle. MJF retorts if he wants him to join the inner circle.
This is playing off of something that happened, I think, almost a year ago now.
What was?
When MJF and Jericho were in the ring, and they said, well, they were doing the exact same thing. They said, well, do you want to join the inner circle? Well, do you want me to join the inner circle? And they were like, well, we both hate Cody. Cody sucks. Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember this?
Yeah. It's just it was made way more apparent last week when they did the whole, or 2 weeks ago, and then last week where they both saw each other picture in picture, both calling each other losers. I feel like
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what MJF's training, because I know he was talking about joining a stable like 4 weeks ago.
Honestly, MJF is that type of asshole who realizes how much of an asshole he is, and the only friend he has is the one he's paying, which is Wardlow. And so like he's just trying to find friends. He's trying to buy friends. He's literally buying friends.
Trying to buy 4 new friends.
And it's really interesting the fact that Sammy Guevara is the only person without a jacket. And as we end this segment, Sammy is about to say, "What a loser." But Jericho stops him and says, perhaps he's not. So I think what MJF is trying to do is getting rid of Sammy. He's obviously trying to get rid of Sammy and take his place and take his spot. So yeah,
Jericho's
that's
just going to use MJF though. Jericho's smarter than that. Jericho knows what's going on. I think.
Is he though?
I think
Jericho can be smart, but then he can also be really dumb.
Jericho sees a way to maybe utilize him and Wardlow, maybe for them to win the tag titles. You never know.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm very curious on this. Again, like I said, you're curious about certain directions and builds going into these Dynamites, and I think it's more apparent and on taped Dynamites as well.
Yeah.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Reba versus Red Velvet. JR obviously makes a cake joke because of Red Velvet. Baker does a barbed wire submission.
I didn't like how they didn't do Red Velvet's intro. I love that though.
We got television time to deal with, Corey.
Straight out of your mama's kitchen. I love that.
Yeah, that's true. Baker does a barbed wire hold. She's the commentary points out that she's more of a submission focused wrestler in this return of hers. Hammerlock clothesline from Baker as we get a close-up. JR says, normally wrestling dentists are ugly, but not this one.
It's weird.
Butterfly suplex to Velvet, sling blade from Baker, roll-up attempts from Velvet, super kick and swinging fisherman's neck breaker, heel kick to the face, pin, win, Britt Baker. I thought Britt Baker looked great in her return. She's clearly working out with her with her absence, like she's clearly trying to get back into the swing of things. I thought she looked great, and her return is much needed in this division.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see what happens to Baker.
She's going for the title, obviously.
Was she cheating? No, she wasn't cheating.
I mean, she lost to Big Swole though, but then that was a special match.
Yeah,
so they can definitely continue that in a regular match fashion, which. Yeah. I haven't seen Big Swole in a very long time.
All Cedric's off TV too, so
yeah. I mean, wait, he wasn't on Raw?
He's at Hurt Business Boot Camp.
Oh, precautions, people. Mm-hmm. Post-match beatdown, Baker is handed a glove for the lockjaw. They said message sent, and then JR then says the message is that she's the baddest bitch on the block. You think anybody on commentary, any male commentator, has a right to say that?
Sure. I mean,
I feel like Veda Scott would have probably said it. Like, you never hear
it doesn't sound natural.
It just did not sound natural at all. Like, I was kind of think about it. A male commentator calling, I mean, and granted, it's more of a compliment in the context of this. It's more of a complimentary term towards Britt Baker of being the baddest bitch in the block.
Yeah, if Britt Baker went around and said it, like okay, Mia Yim, she was the HBIC, and if she went in the Indies, she called herself the head bitch in charge. You can say, "Oh, look at her, she's the HBIC." She is the one in charge. That's fine. But to hear
it's JR, okay, that's why.
I know
that's my main
bad bitch. And even like I was saying, even if I was gonna say, well, if Taz, no, because it would even sound worse. Oh, she's the baddest bitch. I'm like, whoa, Taz, calm down. Like, Jesus Christ. So no, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think I think they should probably turn it down.
There's so many things that are just easily avoidable on what JR can and can't say. Like they.
You can talk about barbecue sauce. That's fine. I love that.
Sauce.
I love hearing JR talk about drinks and sauce.
So we get a rundown of next week. With Chaos Project, Serpentico and Luther versus Jericho and Hager, and then. Brian Cage versus Will Hobbs for the FTW Heavyweight Championship.
That's a rematch of All Pro Wrestling's We Out Here.
That doesn't exist. Cody, okay, it does exist. I'm sorry.
I saw this match live already, okay?
Yeah, how was it?
It was a good match, good Hobbs match.
Okay.
I can't remember who won. I think Will Hobbs won.
And then Cody versus Brody Lee, Dog Collar TNT Championship. That's all we got so far announced for this week. For next week on Dynamite. Main event, Eddie Kingston is out with Phoenix, Penta, and referee Bryce Remsburg. Eddie's just straight up just buttering up Remsburg, saying he's friends with him for 18 years, which is, you know what, honestly probably true, because Bryce Remsburg, he's been around, It's a very well-respected referee.
Yeah.
So is Eddie Kingston, very well respected in those circles. He says he was put in the bulldog choke, and he says he did not tap. He then abuses Remsburg some more over the submission and asks him what gave him the balls to ring the bell. And then Remsburg getting quite a bit of mic time, saying it's his job to protect him, to protect Eddie from himself, to a lot of cheers. I thought that was actually kind of nice. And then just as Eddie is about to sick the Lucha Bros on Bryce, Mox comes out to the rescue with a barbed wire bat, and that leads us with a stare down of Mox between Eddie and the Lucha Bros, with the Butcher from Butcher and Blade sneaking
Butcher and Blade fame.
Of Butcher and Blade fame right behind him, and immediately what I thought is Blade's not around. Blade is not around.
Oh, yeah, yep.
That meaning probably Allie is not around. We got her again.
Where's QT Marshall? Where's Dustin? They were in contact with Cody. Why is Cody there? He's gonna fight Brody. Everyone's gone.
Cancel it. Close it down. Again.
Well, it actually opened Florida up, so I think
that's the thing though. Like AEW is very transparent. Like they themselves said, Lance Archer, he's unable to perform, because they have no choice but to say, like, Lance Archer, he's unable to perform because he came into contact with somebody with COVID, and then just house of cards just happened. And I know this is last week's news, and but it's spilling into this week because this was a taped show
last week. Yeah.
So where am I? Butcher sneaks behind Mox. And I just thought, good for the Butcher. Main eventing Dynamite. I think because he's probably all they have left.
Yeah, I can't believe getting a title shot. I don't think he ever thought.
My money is on the Butcher. Kick punch affair between the two. Mox employs a bit of MMA as he employs an armbar to Butcher. Single leg crab on the bad knee to Mox. Mox attempts a paradigm, but Butcher is just too big. Butcher attempts a stretch muffler, kind of gets it, but Mox's knee isn't really favored. It's not doing any favors for Moxley's knee. Mox goads Butcher onto the barricade. Mox rests as the Butcher goes to the ring slowly as he, counts his blessings as Butcher's counted out. The exchange strikes. Mox is about to go for a running strike, but his knee is still bothering him, and that's a second of weakness opens up for Butcher to do a running crossbody pump handle into a Uranagi from Butcher, and you see Eddie Kingston on the apron with just like teasing with a towel. I think that was just him holding a towel, but then he was just jaw-jacking Bryce Remsburg. It didn't really tease anything. There was a really nice touch where Eddie Kingston, like, there's a close-up on him, and then he immediately just, he's the closest on him, and he just immediately faces the camera and just, get the camera off me. I thought that was a really nice touch that you normally just don't see that much in wrestling. Now where am I? Mox gets a superplex, but Butcher gets control of Mox's leg, but is driven to the top turnbuckle pad, followed by a gotch pile driver. We forgot to mention this in news, but apparently Minoru Suzuki might be out of New Japan soon. He's probably going to come out of Noah, go back to Noah. Gotch pile driver. Hint, hint. Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
I didn't hear this.
Minoru, it's kind of a rumor.
Why you're the New Japan expert?
It's kind of just out there that Minoru Suzuki is on his way out of New Japan.
That's been kind of a rumor for a little while, though, right?
He always just kind of goes in and out.
I mean, why not? Why not AEW?
Moxley doing a gotch pile driver, Corey. That's
been doing it for a while.
Well.
I would love to hear. Hopefully, Kaze ni Nare in the AEW.
Oh, they can't get that, though.
Oh, no.
Let me finish this match.
Suzuki.
Let me finish this match, actually. Butcher does a crossbody from Brett's rope. Moxley slams Butcher and does a bulldog choke as he stares down. Moxley slams Butcher with a DDT. He does a bulldog choke, but then this time Butcher taps. And then as he taps, he stares down Kingston. I just thought this was a badass looking shot. And then Kingston is having a tantrum outside as we end the show as Moxley celebrating with his titles being retained. I thought this was a fine main event match. It was very much, I thought it was a little bit too kick punchy for my tastes, but then
do you say that?
Yeah, it also kind of went a little bit too long. I'm the one complaining this week that a match went a little bit too long.
I'll get there.
But I thought it was a fine match. Match in a very fine Dynamite. A lot of storylines. honestly, the highlight was SCU versus FTR. I thought that match was excellent. I really loved the whole Adam Page feeling like he's slighted with the announcements for.
It's sad thinking about it every time.
Yeah, no, Adam Page is just, he is to me the real everyman in wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those minutes, those very sparing minutes that he was on the show, for him to just react to that match of FCU versus FTR and having him feel a little bit emotional over him not being announced as some of the participants in the tournament. The fact that that's one of my main takeaways of that show speaks volumes. Yeah. Otherwise, I thought this Dynamite was okay.
Decent show. It was what I would say. Good show. Well, let's continue on with our NXT review. I will take it from here. Well, noticeably still gone is one Wade Barrett, who just recently re-signed with WWE as an NXT commentator. So
re-signed or just signed, because like he's been gone. He could just sign.
I mean, he was gone.
We digress.
He signed again, so he re-signed with WWE. Well, I see what you're saying. Shotzi Blackheart versus Dakota Kai to begin the show. The woman from Oakland versus the woman from Auckland. We have a battle of the Lynns. You know you love it. Back and forth.
I love it so much it hurts.
Back and forth between the two women. We have an inverted atomic drop to a ball pit leg drop to Dakota Kai.
What is it? What is it?
When she does, you do the splits. And then you do the leg drop between the legs. I just call it a ball pit because she goes, "Welcome to the ball pit. I'm Shotzi."
Cool.
Uranagi backbreaker to Shotzi. Kick into the commercial break. Back from break though, Shotzi having control of Kai with a wicked knee strike to a cannonball on the ropes. They eventually battle on the apron, resulting in what I first thought was Kai giving Shotzi some sort of move, but actually it was Shotzi giving Kai a blockbuster onto the apron, but they both hit the apron side of the ring and the apron so hard that I don't think either one of them really got out of it better than the other.
Another dangerous spot for Shotzi Blackheart. I saw this on Twitter. I saw that bump on Twitter.
Yeah, eventually Shotzi is tripped up by Raquel Gonzalez. Cue Rhea Ripley coming out to the ring because, she doesn't like Raquel. Dakota goes for the running haluva kick. Shotzi evades, rolls her up for the win. Pin win. It was a decent match besides that one scary spot. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Same as Tomohiro Ishii versus Minoru Suzuki.
You know what? Yes. Different shows. I love how, different shows, Michael. Different shows, okay? Okay, then we go to Isaiah Swerve Scott and Santos Escobar. Picture in picture, actually, just like us, but we actually have way better lighting. I don't know why these guys are in two of the most dimly lighted rooms that I've ever seen. The plus side of this, though, they can actually hear each other and they go back and forth, and they have some good back and forth exchange of words. Swerve Scott just kind of says, I've beaten you before. If I have a fair shot at the Cruiserweight title, I take over. It'll be a different story than what happened last time. Escobar says he'll get a fair match. So, will we get El Legado del Fantasma coming down to the ring? Will we not? Will he have the loaded mask under the ring?
Probably,
yeah. And then you were saying this before, but we weren't on last week. So we're going to have a return to NXT TakeOver. A former champion is returning. Nobody knows who this is. Have you seen these video packages yet, Michael?
No.
You haven't seen one from last week? So there's a video package and it's like ironically, it's in Night Vision. I don't think it's Randy Orton because he's not a former NXT champion. But it's in Night Vision, somebody breaking a case where the NXT title is being held. They said they're a former champion coming back to reclaim what's theirs. Once you leave something and come back to find it all in disarray, you have to get things back to the way they were. There was rumor that this could actually be the return of Bo Dallas to NXT.
Remember that guy? Yeah. Is Curtis Axel still with the company?
No, he was let go, I think, recently.
So yeah, I guess that would be the return. That's a good guess.
He's a
Can't
former
be Biggie. Champion. Yeah, he's the first champion. Oh no, he's not the first champion.
Could be Andrade. There's the chance of that. It could be Aleister Black. We technically don't know who it could be, but he on this, and it could be a woman too, because I thought I saw a certain point that I saw blonde hair coming from the back because there's somebody who's riding a motorcycle. This person rides a motorcycle too.
So returning NXT champion a former NXT champion
Charlotte.
is returning.
It could be Charlotte, but they did say, I hear them say you can never go back home. Too many roads to be taken. Like I said, they pick up a flyer of NXT TakeOver 31. It says they're going to reveal themselves at TakeOver. So we'll see. Then we get a Kyle O'Reilly Prime Target video package, which this is really, really good. Very well done. I don't think it was done by anyone in the immediate WWE.
I mean, that's just on brand with Prime Target. Like that company, that man, that or woman. I mean, I don't even know who makes these, but it's very clear. Like these were made from the UK scene.
Yeah, says he's been focused. Well, O'Reilly says he's been focused on Balor for a while. He says once he got to Japan, Balor came to NXT. Once he came to America, it's kind of this chasing Finn Balor across the world. He's always wanted to fight him. He says he'll win the NXT title, and the Undisputed Era will stick together, and they will have the second phase of the Undisputed Prophecy. So this package really built up Kyle O'Reilly as the babyface going into this. And a lot of things did, but we'll get there. Sarah Schreiber with the Garganos. Nothing really I can say besides they're going to face Damian Priest and Io Shirai tonight, and they have matching gear. Or, not color scheme, but they have matching gear. So good for them.
Yeah.
Then we have one of our favorite wrestlers on the NXT roster, Cameron Grimes. He says he's not in a good mood because what happened in the Gauntlet Eliminator. He says, who came up with that idea? Wasn't Mr. Regal? I know that for sure. I don't know why he sounds like AJ Styles, but this is when I noticed though there's no fans in the crowd, but there's been constant booing and cheering the entire night. There's not even wrestlers out there.
That was me, Corey.
Oh, it was you screaming like a million people.
That's how mad I am.
It just, to me, it threw me off at that. Once I noticed it, I just couldn't stop noticing it the entire night. That's when Grimes created the Cameron Grimes Invitational. He handpicks his opponents for tonight, and he's going to take them all out one by one. It's Cameron Grimes going to the moon. Next up for his first match, Cameron Grimes versus Joe Pistachio, but nonetheless, a cave-in, pin win. He takes out Joey Pistachio. Then he calls out his next opponent, Joey Strong, who gets thrown out of nowhere from the backstage to the ramp, and Ridge Holland makes his appearance on NXT. Grimes says, hey, Ridge, I'd love to shake your hand, but you're not in the Cameron Grimes Invitational, so maybe next time we'll go about this.
He is the one person, in my opinion, that
Ridge Holland or Cameron?
Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is the one person that I really only care about in this NXT brand so far.
He's great. He's going to the moon.
Very, very likable, and I think his pivot to I'm counting to the days where he is just pivoting towards that endearing face, because I do think I think there's way more potential in that direction than what he's doing right now.
Hey, yeah. But no, Ridge Holland comes
really
out.
Good, dude. Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, no, he's really good. He's really, really. I mean,
there's a reason why he's presented like as so frequently.
He used to wrestle in PWG for how long as Trevor Lee?
Yeah.
Impact superstar Trevor Lee. But Ridge Holland comes out. They actually have a match. Ridge takes to Grimes. Ridge Holland stomping down, ignores the ref count as DQ finish. Grimes wins by DQ technically, but Ridge Holland didn't care because he just wanted to beat the shit out of Cameron Grimes, and I was completely okay with that. He just didn't.
I'm not okay with it.
You think he should have just stopped stomping? He said, "Okay, thank you."
I just want Cameron Grimes to be
referee.
I just want him to be safe.
There you go. Sarah Schreiber's backstage with Austin Theory. He says his name should never be in because she asked him. She goes, last week you had some struggle in your match. She goes, my name should never be in the same sentence as the word struggle. Says that it's an inspiration that Kyle O'Reilly that it took him 15 years to get to the NXT title shot, but I was on WrestleMania when I was 22 years old.
And now you're here.
well, we'll continue. Kushida video package. Kushida, they're presenting this new vicious form of Kushida. He says that
I'm all for it.
He says his move to America really held him back. I get it. Moving to a new country, it's gonna take a mental and physical toll on you. You got to move your bed. Of course you're not gonna have great matches. So I get it, Kushida. Don't worry about it. But says the Velveteen Dream will be a stepping stone for Kushida, and he is now vicious. So I love it because we get to see the new vicious side of Kushida in this next match. We have Kushida versus a returning Tony Nese.
What did he dress like, Kushida? Did he still have his Back to the Future gear?
Yeah. He still had his gear on.
What?
Still got his gear on. I mean, he's not a new person. He's just vicious. He's got that hoverboard lock. I mean, come on. He could still be Marty McFly and kick some ass. Why not?
He should change his gear if he's going to do this. Maybe this was just Go on. No, you go because I'm done with my point.
Nese tries to pose, but Kushida kicks him right in the head. High angle slingshot to Kushida off the top rope. Kushida transitioned the pump handle slam into like an arm bar style slam, hoverboard lock, submission. This match gets a 5 out of 10. It was very short, but it was pretty fluid. They want to give Kushida this new vicious appearance, and hell, beating Tony Nese in a matter of minutes, that'll do it. After the match, the arena goes purple and Dream appears on the screen. He says, it doesn't matter what Kushida shows up at NXT TakeOver because you won't be able to handle the spotlight. See you Sunday.
How are these guys so in close proximity with each other in these segments?
What do you mean?
Austin Theory and Theory and Velveteen Dream.
Honestly, when I said Velvet, I was like, oh shit, they are in back-to-back sync. I didn't even say
this is the second time this has happened, and you're just kind of just
whatever. We'll get to the way Austin Theory is being booked. So there is that positive side of things. It's not like he's going out and winning matches. So we'll get there though. Next up, we have a lot of returns on the show, actually. Cameron Grimes backstage looking for Regal, and he bumps into the returning Dexter Lumis. So after 2 or 3 weeks, Dexter Lumis is back.
That had more than 2 weeks, dude. Like it's felt like months. Because was he injured? I think he was.
No, I mean he had that thing with Velveteen Dream before Velveteen Dream turned heel. Remember, he was like trying to be his partner. Remember, they were trying to be partners, and then
Jesus Christ.
So he Cameron Grimes says, "Hey, where's Regal? I need to talk to him." And then Lumis just stares and goes, "You're a freak," and then just walks away. So,
welcome back, Dexter Lumis.
Welcome back, Dexter Lumis. Next up, we have Adam Cole coming to the ring for an in-ring promo. Talks about the beginning of the beginning of the and the end of the Undisputed Prophecy. He goes, all of a sudden something changed and people think they could say anything to us. He goes, nothing has changed. We are still the same Undisputed Era that won the first War Games. We're still the same UE that dominated the brand. So Austin Theory, you get your ass down here because you think you're going to talk shit to my friend Adam Cole. He didn't say shit. You think you're going to talk to about Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly like that.
The other show can say shit.
Yeah. So out comes Austin Theory. They have an exchange of words, but Cole gives him two options. He says, bring your stupid face through the ropes and fight me like a man, or two, stand there and me and the Undisputed Era will beat you up. And yeah, they'll beat you up. Theory, though, is pretty smart for once in his life and comes down to the ring. He says, you know what? I don't want to get beat up by three guys. I'll just get beat up by one. So we have Adam Cole versus Austin Theory. And this was just like, Jesus Christ. This is like a 10-minute burial match.
Yeah, like a southern accent sneaking in there. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Cameron Grimes is here to just tell you that Jesus Christ, it's too long of a match. That was good. I like that. Adam Cole takes the Austin Theory, pump kicks the Theory, neck breaker to Theory. Theory tries to leave but receives a pump kick back from break. Theory does get a couple of shots in on Adam Cole, but Jesus Christ, like, this is just like Adam Cole the entire match. Backstabber to Theory. Theory evades Panama Sunrise, gives Cole a super kick to his head. Blue Thunderbomb, and that was the only spot I think Theory got on TV. A hard super kick to Theory. Theory rolls into the ring for another super kick, neck breaker suplex, last shot, pin, win. Adam Cole.
What do you think this means for the direction of the Kyle O'Reilly Finn Balor? You think that kind of just
there's still a face to face, so I'm going to talk about that when I get there.
Okay,
but
then
no,
from what you've seen out of Adam Cole.
Well,
do you want to just wait? Let's just wait after the Finn Balor thing.
6.5 out of 10. This is a pretty damn good match, even though it's a squash match.
Even though it's a despite your complaints, 0.5 better than Tomohiro Ishii and Minoru Suzuki.
You're just going to use that one example, aren't you?
Yeah, because
did you just
it is the ultimate example, in my opinion. But it is, at the end of the day, it's your opinion.
So after the match, Cole says to the camera, he says, Kyle O'Reilly is ready. This Sunday, he's going to shock the world, but he's not going to shock me. That's a really good friend. I think Adam Cole's a really good friend. I will say that. So for now,
I would imagine, yeah.
Sarah Schreiber, she's backstage with Io Shirai and Damian Priest. Asks them, how do they feel about NXT's power couple? And Priest says, power couple, is that what they're calling themselves? Well, me and Io, we're going to take it to them tonight, and then we're going to retain our titles on Sunday. Io then speaks in Japanese and finishes by holding up the devil horns, and she says, rock stars. That's when Priest says, she's cool as hell. That's when I was like, just call these guys the new Rock and Roll Express, man. Just do it.
I think there's a couple of reasons why that they can't get that name.
Well, I mean, did you see that the image made by our friend at One of the Dead, the new Midnight Express?
No.
Joey Janela and Sunny Kiss t-shirt.
Cool.
Cornette got fucking pissed.
Of course he did.
God damn it. Why are you not there? Not the Midnight Express. I'll tell you the Midnight Express is.
I don't know.
Caden Carter versus Xia Li. I'm talking about this match now. Caden Carter versus Xia Li. And a lot of mat wrestling reversals to start this match. Springboard judo kick to Xia Li. Lee takes over with a series of strikes. Lee getting frustrated with Carter kicking out.
Damn it.
And they're doing the entire match with a lot of mat wrestling reversals. And then at the end, literally the last roll up was a botched roll up. And I was like, oh my God. Because they were pretty fluid the entire match. And then all of a sudden, Caden couldn't roll up Xia Li right. And then they just instead of rolling her up, they just rolled around to pin her.
This match is your reminder that NXT, man.
Give it a brand. 4 out of 10. Give it a 4 out of 10. It was decent, but the blown spot really just took me out of it. So now we go to Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly face to face with Shawn Michaels overseeing it or stirring the pot. I don't know. This was a really weird segment, in my opinion, because
it's such Kyle O'Reilly, a person that you just associate being just a shitheel for a very long time. Just all of a sudden, hey guys.
No.
Yeah.
Did you watch the segment or no?
No.
Okay. So the entire night they're building up Kyle O'Reilly as this baby face. He can actually do it. We believe in our friend. Undisputed Era. We were kind of jocks, but this guy has worked hard for 15 years to get here. And all of a sudden this face-to-face thing, Finn Balor's just I respect you, Kyle O'Reilly. Oh, I think we're going to have a great match at TakeOver. But at the end of the day, I'm the Prince Finn Balor, and Kyle O'Reilly just turns around and goes, oh, look at you, Mr. Egotistical. I know your game, Finn Balor. I'm going to beat you just like I could have years ago. And he comes off like a complete fucking heel. I was just what is going on?
I mean, maybe he just he wants to put on a face. He won't, no pun intended, but then he kind of just doesn't want to seem weak against Finn Balor. So he just becomes on the defense about this.
But he's super defense. It's just out of no, I'm dude, the guy's
hey man, this is an opportunity of a lifetime for Kyle O'Reilly. All right.
There's just there could be a reason why. If Dave Meltzer told you, Michael, I think you're really good in your and you were just oh yeah, Dave Meltzer, you think I'm really good? You think I'm good? Get out of here with that's just how it came off to me. passive aggressive and super on the defense, and it didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it could be nerves. Like it's a defense mechanism for him just being nervous.
It could be, but they didn't say that. So
do they have to say that? Like, do you want fucking what's his name, Vic Joseph, to say, oh, this could be nerves, his defense mechanism? I think it is Corey Smith of San Francisco.
Well,
I'm gonna just put the spotlight on this because
I've spoken to Vic Joseph. Okay,
yeah,
he hasn't done anything like that, but. I don't know. To me, it just the entire night they're building him up as a babyface. At least have something to just point out, like, hey, like he's just like even Adam Cole coming back. Hey, chill, Kyle, you got this. Like, just something like that. To me, it just came out of left field that Kyle O'Reilly's acting like a complete asshole heel. So even though
is it though? Like he's always been like this.
Well, the entire night, yes. The way they've been building him up, mountain biking.
So that happened. What do you think?
Basically, Finn Balor asked him, will Undisputed Era be there at a takeover? And Kyle O'Reilly said, hey, one hand washes the other. So, yeah, I don't know.
That wasn't really an answer, but
yeah, he really didn't. So he's just basically saying Undisputed Era will be there in his corner Sunday.
Then you hear the Adam Cole thing earlier in this segment saying, we're kind of different, but we're still the same. So what do you think? How do you think Adam Cole plays into this title match? Because he kind of has to be.
I think we're gonna get like some sort of Triple H Batista thing or Triple H Randy Orton thing. I don't think Kyle O'Reilly is gonna win the title, but I think we're gonna get a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Like a post match where you just see Adam Cole just like he props Kyle O'Reilly up in defeat and is like, you tried, and then all of a sudden, bah!
Yeah. So,
wait, what? Why would Adam Cole?
Why did Triple H turn on Randy Orton?
Because he, I guess, but then Orton won the title. Kyle O'Reilly would not win the title in this situation.
It would be a different direction.
Oh yeah, no. Therefore, it would be good because if it's different, it's automatically good.
Well,
and it makes sense.
Think about it. Like, there's who is really at the top like babyface. Kyle O'Reilly could be a top babyface.
Oh, he definitely could.
So
just seems kind of sudden.
Yeah, especially that asshole heel promo he just cut. Anyways, we go to the main event: the Garganos versus the New Rock and Roll Express, Io Shirai and Damian Priest. Priest and Shirai bolt right to the ring. I do like how they at least put their intros up together. That was cool. Johnny and Priest start the match. Priest takes down Johnny with a big boot and a side slam. Shirai tags in. And so, like, I don't know, this, like, I don't get it, like, in these mixed tag matches, why, like, there's these hot tags, because the other person could just, like, tag back out, like, no, I don't want to be back in, so get back in there. Like, if me and you were fighting, I don't know. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Candice and Io trade shots. Flapjack to low drop kick to Candice. Io charges towards Candice with Johnny cuts her off. Double knees to Candice after Johnny dodges the shot. Shirai got on Priest's shoulders and dives to the outside to the Garganos. Back from break, Candice has Io in a headlock. They actually explain it, though, where Io Shirai, she tried to do the tiger feint kick to Candice LeRae, but Johnny Gargano took the brunt of the kick, and Candice LeRae got the upper hand on Io. So at least that made sense. Broken arrow to Johnny, spinning side effect to Damian Priest. Io tags in and hits a drop kick to Johnny Gargano. Johnny locks in the crossface to Candice, Io locks in the crossface on Candice. Johnny pulls her away, facebuster to Io. Stomping senton to Io Shirai. Candice then misses a moonsault. Butterfly backbreaker to Candice. Io goes for a moonsault, but Johnny moves her out of the way. Priest knocks down Johnny. Acai moonsault to Johnny Gargano. Io tags Priest in. He hits his finisher, but Candice LeRae hits the low blow on Damian Priest. That leads to Johnny Gargano hitting the one final beat DDT, the pin, and the win. I'm going to say this. This is the best damn mixed tag match I've ever seen. Or at least one of them. In WWE standards, at least.
Okay, I can't argue against it because I can't think of anything right now. I have no doubt in my mind that it was a really good match, considering it's fucking Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest and Candice LeRae and Io Shirai, even though for the fourth most talented people on that roster.
Exactly. So they're all four of them are super talented, and it leads us into NXT.
They fucking better have a good match.
It leads to NXT Takeover. So we'll see what happens coming this Saturday night. So
is this Saturday? I thought it was a Sunday.
It's Saturday. I thought, right? Maybe I'm gonna look it up right now. NXT Takeover 31, and I am loading.
That's October 4th, which is a Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, we got NXT Takeover on a Sunday.
According to Wikipedia, attendance 0.
That's the same thing I saw.
Yeah, makes sense. You want to just go through like a quick rundown of this card?
You want to just do a...
I'll see it. I'll say it. I'll say the card because it's kind of there.
Yeah. If you don't want to do a separate show, then yes, we'll do it here.
Santos Escobar, champion. Why did I say champion? Santos Escobar versus Isaiah Swerve Scott, singles match for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Kushida
is retaining.
Okay.
Are we going to go through predictions or?
I was just going to list the matches.
Okay, list the matches.
Yeah. Kushida versus Velveteen Dream. Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT Championship. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. NXT Women's Championship. Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano. NXT North American Championship. Seems like a pretty good card, to be honest with you.
On paper, yeah.
On paper.
Only match I think I'm concerned about is Velveteen Dream versus Kushida. I think Kushida.
I hope that match is 30 seconds and legit. I'm just kidding.
Hoverboard lock. Yeah, done. Well, then it's Santos Escobar and Swerve Scott got to put in some extra time.
This is looking like a snack, honestly, this card.
Tasty.
Besides, yeah.
Anyways, that was NXT. That was AEW Dynamite. You had your full G1 up. You're up to date with that now. Well, actually, at least for another 45 minutes, I think, until the next B-Block show starts.
That's tonight, huh? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Get your notes ready, Michael.
I feel like I can... Wait, I have to... Never mind.
No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, I had what?
No. Anyways, that about does it here for us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at City Wrestling Radio on pretty much everything. Just search for City Wrestling Radio on whichever app. You know what? Search for us on HotTopic.com. You probably won't find anything, but hey, at least they'll be like, Hot Topic, be like, yeah.
You need your mask. Make sure you wear a mask.
What's the City Wrestling Radio? Yeah. Anyways, guys, we'll see you later. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.